Hello all, welcome to my new channel. This channel is going to be designated for all my beauty videos, all of my art projects, things of that matter. Some of you guys may know me as a tarot reader. I do a lot of collective readings and I do a lot of pick-a piles on my other channel. But on this channel, it's going to be completely focused on beauty and all things art and just me being able to express my creative side with you guys because why not? Kicking off the new year, we are starting with a pretty packed video. Today, I am going to be showing you how I created this press-on nail set. It took me 2 days to film. So I hope that this all comes together the way that I envision it, because as I'm filming right now, I'm scared. So each one of these nails are inspired by a woman from X-Men, Marvel X-Men, like the comics, the series, whatever. I really just drew inspiration wherever I could from each character, and you'll see which characters I took inspiration from for each nail in the video. My best friend Jared is the one who actually gave me the idea for this set. Jared, this video is partially dedicated to you, but I also wanted to dedicate this video to my grandmother, who used to actually collect X-Men Marvel cards in the 90s. And she sadly passed away in 2009, but we still have her card collection. So a lot of these nails are inspired by the cards she left behind for me, my sister, and my mother. That's why this video is kind of like personal for me, and it couldn't be a more perfect concept to start off this channel with. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into creating the nails, and I hope you enjoy the video.
So I first start by reviewing all of the designs that I created on Canva, just trying to make sure that I have everything I need to get started. And yeah, so I start by prepping the press-on nails, and I do this a lot differently than what I've seen other people who make press-on nails do. I don't use the little like metal holders with like the magnet holders that a lot of people use. I used to use those, but I have really big hands and sometimes it's really hard for me to use those, so I opted for just using a little bit of gel glue on some cuticle pushers, some wooden cuticle pushers, and that's what works for me right now. So getting started on Emma Frost's nail, this is a pretty quick nail. I decided to use some blue and white. I know that she primarily wears white in her appearances in the comics, but I feel like the blue is very frosty, you know what I'm saying? So I'm using this blooming gel, which is kind of hard to control. Like, it kind of just does what it wants to do, but I think that's the fun of blooming gel, right? And I went from corner to corner, and then I just filled in the rest with the same pattern. And I kind of wish that I would have cured it then and did just like another layer of blooming gel and then the white, but I had to manipulate and play with this a lot to get a sort of okay result. I had to add a lot more blue and feather out the white myself, but I'm still practicing with the blooming gel, still trying to get the hang of it. Let me know how I did. I go ahead and I cure that before it blooms anymore. And now I'm adding some rhinestones. The rhinestones are iridescent, so they're not like that flat silver, flat white. And you'll see what I mean in a second when I place them on. And I'm using 3 different sizes just for like variation, and just to add some like little detail to it. Because again, this is a pretty basic nail. Going ahead and adding that to the center. And I went ahead and I cured that for 30 seconds under my lamp. And then for the top coat, I wanted to make sure that I covered the actual nail. I wanted to give it like that orb effect, or like that sphere effect. I didn't want the facets of the gem to show. I just wanted it to be very smooth, very spherical. And you could see me going over the gems with a little extra of that top coat. And then I went ahead and cured that for 30 seconds, wiped off the inhibition layer with some alcohol, and yeah, that's the Emma Frost nail. Next we have Dazzler. She's super disco, super colorful, so you know I had to grab the airbrush for her. I did bite off a lot. I'm not gonna say more than I could chew because I chewed this up, all right? So I used many colors, okay? I used 5 colors for her. I couldn't not do that, right? Like this is the Dazzler, okay? Went ahead and added a base coat, and then I was gonna do just a regular like flat black, but I decided to do like this really nice indigo color instead, just to not be boring, just to be a little bit more colorful. Went ahead and did 2 coats of that and cured it for 60 seconds just to make sure it was nice and solid. And in my airbrush, we're doing a 3-to-1 ratio of acetone and gel, 3 parts acetone, 1 part gel, and I start off with the lightest color. And I'm gonna show you guys how to work smarter, not harder, with the airbrush when you are using multiple colors. Always test your airbrush on a piece of paper or something before you do it on the nail. I had to wipe off the nail like 4 times, like each color almost, because it's really hard to, I'm a beginner with the airbrush. It's really hard to control the airbrush and just what it does. It kept pushing the pigment around. So I wasn't happy with the yellow result, but I just had stuck with it because I had wiped it off like 4 times already. So now moving on to this green color, this lime green color. The next color on the rainbow from yellow is green, right? So we add that green to the airbrush, and we don't have to clean out the airbrush in between every use. Shocking. Yeah, you don't have to clean the airbrush after every use if you go according to the color theory and the color wheel. So yeah, same thing with the green. I had to wipe it off like 20 times before I got like something I was satisfied with. I'm not a perfectionist at all, I'm gonna be really honest, but I was trying to go for perfection with this nail because Dazzler is one of my favorites, and I couldn't do her dirty. Like I couldn't do her dirty. I did 2 layers of each color, by the way. So next we're moving on to blue, obviously, and I used a light blue, realized that wasn't gonna be dark enough, so I also added a little bit of a darker blue, tested on the piece of paper, went ahead and put that on the nail as well. And the trick with the airbrush really is to pull back the nozzle the slightest bit, and you got to be patient. I know you might want to like blast everything at once. Just be patient, the pigment will start to show. Yeah, so then I added this like neon pink to create purple. I didn't bother pulling out a purple gel. I just created purple with the blue and the pink to make a good smooth transition into the neon pink. So I added a lot of that neon pink in there, mixed that up, and I added that to the nail. And then the last color here is this neon orange, but the pink really made it pop. So I'm really happy that I kept the pink in there to mix with that orange. Went ahead and cured that, did a second coat of the orange, and here we are with the full ored out nail. And now I'm taking this really pretty silver polish by Model Ones, and I am hand painting on some sparkles onto the nail, which is always super straightforward, but a little harder than what I always anticipate. But I'm really happy with how the sparkles came out. And I'm adding a glossy top coat to the nail. I didn't even show the result of this nail. You'll see in the end, I guess. So moving on to Storm, I was very inspired by this comic cover. I think that's like the variant cover or whatever. Starting with base coat and then a white coat. I also was really inspired by like her platinum hair. She always has platinum hair or like a nice like silvery hair. So I was like, let's do white. And then I did you can't even see it on camera and I'm really upset about that. But I was like, let's do a like pink iridescent top coat over that. You'll see it more in the end. And then I'm doing like this hand painted tribal kind of thing. I did have to start over because I didn't like the first design, but yeah. So I went with red because you can see like the little, I guess they're buttons that kind of hold her cape on. Those are red. So here I am just like trying to flick my brush and make the ends super pointy and stuff. It's always really intimidating to do tribal because it looks really intricate, but when you freehand it, you kind of just naturally go with the flow of the nail. So it always ends up being a little easier than you anticipate, but here I am cleaning up the X that I had did in the middle because I just wasn't satisfied with the lines. Always, listen, if you're not satisfied with something, the good thing about gel is that it doesn't dry unless you put it on the lamp. You can always start over, y'all. You can always wipe it off. You could always, you know, do something to it. You could always alter it in some way. That's why I love working with gel. And once you start working with gel, you'll never go back to regular polish, to be honest. Because it's just so much more convenient, so much more efficient as well. Yeah, so I went ahead and I cured that before I did anything else. Here I am adding the X to the middle of the nail and it's so out of focus. Y'all, also, I'm really sorry about the out of focus situation. I am using my phone to record this and for some reason iPhone just has a really hard time with focusing and all that stuff. Okay, so here I am just wiping off the inhibition layer and you can see that like pinkish sparkle kind of show a little bit. So next is Haven. And fun fact, my grandmother used to collect the cards in the 90s. And so when she had passed, we got to kind of like inherit her X-Men Marvel card collection, which is part of the reason why I actually am creating this nail set, because I just felt really inspired by not only my friend Jared, who gave me the idea for this, but also the cards that my grandmother had left to us when she had passed. So really, really personal set for me. I also really love Marvel, and you'll find in the rest of my videos that I'm kind of a nerd and I really love these kinds of things. But yeah, so really simple nail, orange base, purple stars. What is there not to love about this nail set? I might just do like a whole nail set based off of Haven just because I really, really love the card and how she just has like the most beautiful color scheme, that gold and purple. And I'll show you how I exhibited the gold through this nail in a second here. But yeah, the hand painting was actually really easy for this nail, and I really had fun doing it. So here's the gold. I mixed this like chunky gold glitter with a little bit of top coat so that it was a little bit more sparse, and I covered the nail in that using like a paintbrush, and I went ahead and cured that. And we got this really freaking cute Haven inspired nail. I love this nail. I think it's so simple, but it's like one of my favorites, definitely. Next is Mystique. She's so iconic. Like, who doesn't know Mystique? Honestly, like, even if you're not a Marvel fan, you gotta know Mystique. So I start off with this like light, it's not light blue, it's like a navy blue, but it definitely is a little lighter than like that deep dark indigo that I also end up using here. And I use a matte coat on that to obviously mattify it. Here I'm using rhinestone glue, which is a lot thicker than regular gel, and I'm using this deep indigo color, the same one that I used for the background of the Dazzler nail. And I mixed up that rhinestone glue with that gel just to make it thicker so it could like pop off of the nail better. And I was using the Mystique reference photo actually from the MCU to kind of emulate the same markings that she has on her head on this nail. And I'm so proud of this nail. I love this nail. This nail is actually what started the whole thing because I had made another set that looked very similar to this, and my friend was like, oh my god, that looks like a Mystique nail. And he was like, you should do all the nails after a Marvel character or like an X-Men character. And I was like, that's such a good idea. But yeah, here's the Mystique nail.
So after that Mystique nail, I decided to call it a day and eat dinner and go to sleep and whatnot, and just start on the next hand the next day, which is what I'm doing here. But before I started all that, I wanted to redesign the pinky nail for the left hand, just because I felt like the Inferno nail was kind of boring and we were using too much orange. Like, I don't know, I felt like there was so much orange in all these nails. So I decided to go for Jean Grey, aka Pheonix. Hello. I don't know how I didn't add her before, but I felt like I couldn't find a good enough idea for her. But then I was like, hello, she wears like the hottest green metallic suit. Why can't I do that? So yeah, here I am just redesigning that pinky nail, just showing you guys the process here. I'm adding some sparkles to the nail to just show that I want to add some metallic to it. And you could see me struggling so bad with these gloves on. I don't even know why I didn't take them off. Like, hello, I could have taken them off. So moving on to Jubilee's nail, she really is a fun concept. I really wanted to utilize that aura kind of effect, but also the negative space. So we're doing the good old file base coat that we did for each nail already. And for the base color, I'm using this really pretty light bubblegum pink. And then here I am with the airbrush yet again, filling that up with acetone and then using this really nice magenta color. I used a pretty decent amount of that magenta color because I really wanted it to be pretty opaque. Testing that out and now putting a little bit on the nail, and I was really satisfied with this. Guess what, y'all? I did not have to wipe it off. I guess I'm getting better, but I did 2 spots on the nail, not too much, and really darken that up. I also did 2 coats of that. And then moving on to the hand painting, I wanted to do the almost like the same exact dazzles that I have on the design concept page on Canva. And it took me like a little longer than it took me to do the Dazzler nail for whatever reason, to do the hand paint on this one. But I really love the way it came out because, like I said, I used the negative space by utilizing the same color that I used on the base coat. We kind of have this like cool effect where it looks like I almost deleted the middle of the aura. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. So for top coat, I am using that same laser top coat that we used for Haven's nail. Okay, moving on to tempo. I was really inspired by, again, the 94 Fleer Marvel card that I actually own myself. So we're doing the good old base coat, and I'm going to be using that same glitter that I used over the top of Haven's nail. I'm using that to
do a base coat on this nail, just to get that like gold aspect. And then I'm using the blooming gel. And what I wanted to really capture in this nail is like the fast movement of the card. If you can see like how the lines are going to express how fast tempo is moving, that's what I wanted to really capture in this nail. So I did a bunch of like little lines going upwards at an angle, and that's how I really captured that idea or that look. Really straightforward, really simple. I had lots of fun and just let myself kind of do the thing with this nail. And yeah. Alrighty, next we have Feral, and I'm gonna be really honest, she's my favorite out of all of them. I just really love how wild she looks, and I was so excited to do this nail. So what I'm doing is mixing a top coat and an orange gel to get a very sheer kind of like jelly effect with that orange, and then I'm going in with 3 parts acetone, once again 1 part gel, in my airbrush, using this really neon, almost glow in the dark pink. And I'm doing an ombre from the tip of that nail just before midway. I didn't want to do a lot of pink. I just want it to be a pop of pink because her skin is orange, and then she wears that like really, I don't even know, just strappy kind of outfit, pink outfit. And then using a black gel and my thin liner brush, I am doing a tiger print, just to capture that wild essence that Feral has. Really not much else going on here. So here I'm going in with a matte top coat, and I'm really happy with the results of this nail. It just looks so, I want to do a whole set just inspired by Feral. Okay, so next we have the iconic Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch. You know I had to do her. I could not skip out on her. So first we're going in with 2 coats of this sheer scarlet, if you will, colored gel. And then next I'm going in with some glitter. I'm doing a glitter ombre. Basically you just do 3 coats, and each time you concentrate the glitter towards the tip of the nail, and that's how you get this really nice ombre. And then I mixed up some rhinestone glue, right, like that rhinestone gel, and then some red gel, color gel, and that's how I'm getting this really thick gel to line the nail with. And basically what I'm trying to do is almost like a grid French tip nail. And what I got the grid idea from was from WandaVision, the series. You know how she kind of, spoiler alerts if you haven't watched it yet, this is a spoiler. She traps everyone in this like grid in the show using her magic, and so that's where I got like this grid idea from. And I really am happy with how it came out. The only thing, like my only critique, is that I let it sit for too long. I didn't cure it fast enough, and so it kind of pooled on one part of the nail, but it still looked really cool. Like it still looked really futuristic. So here I am putting a really thin layer of top coat on it. Okay, last but not least, we have the iconic Jean Grey, aka Pheonix. And this is the one that I had designed earlier, replacing Inferno, just because I felt like I had to add Jean Grey in here. Like, how could I not? So first thing I am doing is using that same sheer orange color that I used for Feral, and I'm only going halfway up the nail just to be conservative with the gel, because you're not going to see the rest of the nail. And then going with
in with blooming gel. I am making like a flame kind of texture in the blooming gel. And I am going to wait on that to disperse in the way that I want it to. I used red, yellow, and orange. So here's me waiting for that, and I shook the camera all up. Now I am doing a green kind of like Frenchie. And I got this from her suit. Well, I showed you guys the picture. So yeah, I got this from her suit. So I actually end up trying something that I've never tried before with this nail, which is using eyeshadow as a metallic powder to make this metallic, and it actually worked, and I was really shocked. So here I am using the shade Stunnin' from the Michaela palette to create that sheer effect, that like metallic effect. And yeah, lastly, I just lined the edges with some glitter, and I am done with the Pheonix nail. So these are the final nails, and I am so happy about them. Like, I just can't get over how nice they came out, and I'm really impressed with myself, to be honest. So yeah, I hope you guys like them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Again, hopefully I can stay consistent on this channel, and hopefully I can create a lot more for you guys. I have a whole literal bag of concepts that I want to create for you guys. Every single one of these tokens that I have in this bag is a new idea and concept for this channel. So hopefully throughout the year I can share as much creative projects with you guys as possible. And yeah, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share the video if you liked it. Comment what you thought about it. All of that would be appreciated. And yeah, thank you.